Hello. My name is Michelle. I'm 50. I know I said I'm gonna say that maybe not for an entire year, but definitely for the next few months. Hopefully everybody's doing well. We had a good holiday. As you see, my buddy's right here, so hopefully that means he might not get in my lap. The other thing is, this is like my second time doing a video without my glasses, so hopefully I'm looking in the right place. But I just felt like with my glasses, it was like a weird glare, so hopefully this will be okay. So as you can see from the title of today's video, I wanted to share the different software that I've been using that I feel like has really helped me, because if you've been following along on my real estate series, then you know that I'm an out-of-town investor. And so I've really had to rely heavily on like the, I guess, apps that are available. So I'll start with one that I don't use anymore, but I originally started when I was doing my room by the room, is I was doing Craigslist. I don't use Craigslist anymore. And I said it in a previous video. The reason why is because I find that the people that I am getting on Craigslist, they need more than just a place to stay. So what that means is like they really need more wraparound services. And because I'm literally just providing a room, oftentimes it seems like they're kind of in between jobs. Sometimes their housing is like super duper shaky. And it just feels like the wraparound services that they need, I don't have access to or contact with, or because that hasn't been my focus, like I don't have a whole list of like, resources that I can share. So I don't use Craigslist anymore. I'm looking down at my little makeshift dry erase board that I absolutely love. I think I showed it in my last one. It's my little Dollar Tree frame with like a piece of contact paper in the back, and then you can write on it. And the reason why I really like it is because with the other like regular dry erase boards, they don't wipe off clean, and so then those little streaks just bother me. But because this one is you're writing right on glass, it works perfectly. So I love it. So okay, so we did Craigslist. The next one that I use, which has been really helpful, I'm not like super duper active on it, but it's been really good for like being able to ask a question and get an answer, in a reasonable amount of time. And that's Bigger Pockets Forum. Anybody who's in the world of real estate at this point clearly knows who Bigger Pockets is. They have a podcast, and there's like a bunch of like types of different podcasts. They all connect back to money, but one is like focused on like real estate rookies. Another one is like just a standard one, where they're just talking about real estate in all different capacities. Then they have one that focuses on like just money, and I think the road to FIRE, which is financial independence, retire early. So anyway, they have a forum, and every now and then I'll use that to like ask a question. So that's been super duper helpful. But again, I'm not like super active on there. But people are really good about answering questions, so I love it. My next one is Thumbtack. I don't use Thumbtack a whole lot, but I have used it before. I actually just found a great person for like pest control, so I use it for that. I also use Angie's List here and there, because I found people who have like changed doors for me, pest control, smart locks, like all that kind of stuff. So I've used Thumbtack, not quite as much, but like I just found an electrician on there. Angie's List has been great. But the one that I just love that I would recommend is TaskRabbit. I love that one the best, because with that one, I feel like I found people that I can actually continue to work with. Like the Thumbtack electrician wasn't horrible, but then like I asked him to send me like an estimate, and he never did. And like he didn't actually send like a detailed invoice, and those aren't super big things, but because I'm running my business all on my own, like I need as much detail as possible. And so with that, and then I wasn't sure, but was he actually licensed? And so it's just a weird thing. If you need people to actually be licensed, Angie's List is a better one, because they definitely screen their people, and they have the different licenses that they need for whatever they're saying they do well. But the Thumbtack with finding the pest control person, he was great. I would definitely use him again. But my favorite of the three is definitely TaskRabbit. I love TaskRabbit. I found cleaners on TaskRabbit, people who do my open houses on TaskRabbit, change my batteries in the locks on TaskRabbit, hanging curtains. So I really, really like the TaskRabbit people. The only drawback with TaskRabbit is that once the job is actually finished, you can't get in touch with the person you just worked with. So that's the only drawback. So once you know that, you almost have to, like, as soon as you book the job, exchange phone numbers so that, like, if you ever needed to book that person again, you could get in contact with them and kind of work it around their schedule. That was weird. I was on the verge of saying two different things. So I feel like TaskRabbit should probably change that. None of this is sponsored, but I feel like they should change it because I say I knew my book come over. They should change it because it's kind of making you do jobs off the platform just because you can't get in touch with the people anymore. So I feel like that would be an easy fix if they just, like, if you've ever worked with somebody, that, like, the chat could still be live, or there would be some way to chat with that person. Because right now on TaskRabbit, like I said, once the job is finished, you don't have any way to contact that person again. I wouldn't necessarily use them for cleaning because I had, like, a bad experience with that, because of course cleaning, all TaskRabbit is by the hour. And so the problem with that was, like, this one lady, oh my gosh, she ended up, like, cleaning for 3 hours, which was crazy because in my rent by the room house, I mean, you're only cleaning the common areas. The house is less than 1,500 square feet. So there's no way in the world it should have taken that long. So I was able to get a refund because I had other people who had done it in a more timely fashion. So my current cleaner, I did find off of TaskRabbit, but now whenever I need her help, I just reach out to her. Same thing with the person who changes the locks, the batteries and the digital locks for me. I've just found them on there, but I would highly recommend TaskRabbit. I have not had really a bad experience with them. I love, except that one lady with the cleaner tried to overcharge me. But other than that, they've been great and their customer service was wonderful. Okay, so then the other one I use Gmail, because Gmail allows you to, like, create, like, a professional ending for your email. So then it just makes your business look more legit. So that way, like, my business isn't like my name at Gmail. Not to say there's anything wrong with that, but, and it's not that much money. I want to say it might be like $3 a month, $2.99 a month to just maintain that business email address. So I love that. I recently, bought Microsoft's Office. I hadn't had that before, but I felt like I wanted a backup because I do all my stuff in Google, and I love Drive, but I was like, I probably need a backup. So now I use Microsoft Office as a backup, just to store my stuff, which is working out because that way, you can kind of do some different things in Word as you can in, what's it called, in Google Docs. So yeah, so I like that. Let me see, what else? What's my other one? Cash App. If you are if you're a landlord who's managing your own properties, Cash App is helpful because not all tenants, have a bank account or they want to go through a software to do it. So all my payments are cashless. There's no exchange of cash. I do not accept checks. So Cash App works great because it seems like almost everybody has Cash App these days. And if not, they can always Zelle you the money. But I found that my tenants tend to use Cash App more than anything else if they're not going to use Avail. So I saved the best for last. I love Avail. This is not sponsored, but I absolutely love it. So I use Avail for a bunch of different things. It really has just streamlined my process. I love it. What happens is you're paying, like, by the account, so to speak. So even though I have one house, but I have 3 properties in that house, since I'm doing rent by the room, each one of those is listed as their own thing. And right now, like, I'm recording this in December of 2024, and the rate is like $7 a month. So it's very reasonable. And so what you get for that is I can post the listing, and then Avail will post it on like 15, 16 different sites. And it's almost like a LMS. It's really almost like a learning management system. And I know that maybe that only applies in education, but that's the closest thing I could think of where it's just housing everything. So what that means is, like, I have the rooms listed. I can post them If anyone's interested, then it's on there. And it does, I think it can send you an email message. I don't think there's a text feature. I wish it was, but I don't think there's a text feature right now. So you almost have to just log on every day to see, did you get something? Matter of fact, I think you do get an email. I think email maybe. So you have the listings. People can request a tour or ask questions right through there. It's like, kind of protected conversations. Then the cool thing is they could schedule an open house. The other thing is you can do maintenance requests through there. I just started with that one, which has been great. So I love it. I feel like super official now. And then it also will let you put in like your own notes as the landlord. So I love that. And then the best feature, of course, is that you can pay your rent through there. And you can run your lease through there. So it'll create a lease for you, or if you want to upload your own, you can. If you upload your own, which is what I do, because since Rent by the Room was kind of a very specific niche, I wanted to add some different things in that weren't in a traditional lease. And so like it has the DocuSign feature in there. You can schedule the rents. It also, I'm pretty sure it sends tenants reminders through email and text saying, your rent is due or your rent is late. So that's pretty cool. And like I said before in one of my other videos, my late fee is just $25. It's just a flat rate. So if you pay it a day late, if you pay it 2 weeks late, it's a $25 fee, just because, as a true minimalist, I like to keep stuff simple. And I figure, $25 is not going to break you, but hopefully it'll help you pay your rent on time. And I just don't want people to, get behind because now it's 25 a day or a week, or it just felt like I was okay doing that flat fee like that. So the rent you can pay through there, which is great. Then you can like transfer it over to whatever account you're interested, in moving the money to. You can have the different things go to different accounts. So for instance, like the security deposits could go to one account, in opposed to your actual payments and things could go to a different account, which is good. I had a horrible experience with Capital One when I tried to buy a house over the summer, and because I'm not used to moving that much money, they shut it down. And even though when I talked to several employees, they were like there wasn't anything they could do to override the computer's decision to flag my thing, which was my first like run-in with AI, like, so I took my money out of there because I felt like that's crazy. So right now I do American Express, because you have to, with the security deposits, you want to find somewhere where you can have multiple accounts. And right now they're just in high savings ones. And, it's just literally labeled room 1, room 2, room 3. And then on the lease, it shows the tenants like what bank it's in. And then when they move out, I give them their security deposit back plus any interest earned, minus a cleaning fee. But yeah, so it's made the process very simple. So what else? I think that's it. So if I had to do this again, the one that I would say you cannot live without is Avail, because it just streamlines everything. It is absolutely wonderful. You can do the lease, you can do the payments, you can sign the lease, you can do maintenance requests. So that part is perfect. The other thing is, I would say if you're like an out-of-state investor like me, definitely look into like TaskRabbit or things like that, because then those are people, actual boots on the ground who can really, help you with whatever it is you feel like you need to do. I also feel like being an out-of-town investor really helps you learn how to delegate. And so it doesn't start eating up too much of your time, because if you're out of state, you can't just drive over to change a light bulb and put down a mousetrap or whatever it is that you could do if you were closer by. So I think it's great, especially if you're trying to build like generational wealth and pass it on to someone else, because that way then you have all the processes and they can kind of just jump in and see how you were doing, in opposed to if I was doing all this myself. I don't know if my son would then be like, I don't know if I want to do all that. So hopefully, if he's interested in this, he'll be able, to pick up where I left off if he's interested. Alrighty. So as always, thank you for watching. I appreciate you following along on this journey. I do have a story time-ish, I guess. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but it was kind of like, ugh. So my last video, I talked about giving the tenant the 30-day notice. And so I was really on the fence about like, do I reach out? Do I follow up? And luckily, based on the feedback I've gotten from my Bigger Pockets forum people, they're saying, nope, just keep it legal. So this is, kind of hard because I feel like, the teacher in me wants to give her a heads up and, but I feel like, nope, I'm going to follow it. Hopefully this will not turn into a major legal issue and she'll just leave. So on that note, the letter took forever to get there. Like, I guess because it was so close to the holidays, it just took a really long time. So I ended up having to do like my backup plan, which is have someone go over and tape the thing on there. And so I really appreciate it. It's funny though, because then the person like read what they were printing off. And so now they're like, oh, is everything okay? Sorry, you're going through this with your tenant. So I thought that was funny. But yeah, so hopefully everything will go okay. If not, then I'll work my way through that process, but hopefully I won't have to learn that. So thank you for watching. I'm still, connecting these dots, hoping that I might be able to retire early. Technically, I have 8 more years before I can retire, but I'm definitely looking more into how I can trim that down. In my state as a teacher, you can buy your time back. And there's also like a disability option if, the job has been like negatively impacting your health, which I didn't even realize my blood pressure was so crazy in the last 4 years. But I guess that makes, bless you, buddy. I guess that makes sense considering, I'm a teacher who has survived through teaching through the pandemic. But anyway, I'll definitely keep you all posted on that. If I am able to pull off this early retirement, my next stage will be I really want to do something in adult ed. So whether that's like college or community college or English as a second language or GED prep or working at like a correctional facility or something like that. Like I would really, really like to do that. So we'll have to see. And of course I still have my teacher paid teacher store, but I think as I make that transition, I think I'd like to like make stuff that's more connected to like the adult ed space. But anyway, as always, thank you for watching. I hope everybody year ends on a high note, and my next video will be in 2025, which is crazy. So have a great day. Bye-bye. And don't forget, be grateful.